And McCaffery will become Supreme Court Justice Dan McCaffery in January. After a bitter and expensive campaign, the Democrat is headed for a little R&R in Florida after defeating the R in Tuesday's election.
To be honest with you, it's still a little bit numb. I mean, you're so tired by the end of it.
McCaffery is numb, tired, and surprised at the margin. He won by 6 percentage points, 200,000 votes, in what are typically much closer races. 2 years ago, Kevin Brobson won a Supreme Court seat by 25,000 votes, less than 1 percentage point.
And this was, Notre Dame football versus Little Sisters of the Poor. When Carolyn Carluccio called me the other night, she said, you got this wasn't close. This was a mandate you got.
A mandate, he says, because of a U.S. Supreme Court dictate overturning Roe versus Wade over a year ago.
It became the issue. It became the driving issue in our campaign. I don't think there was a day that went by where people didn't ask questions about women's reproductive rights.
McCaffery made clear he believes those rights are protected under PA's Constitution. Right message, right time.
I'm not going to delude myself or your listeners into thinking I'm some I'm Learned Hand or Oliver Wendell Holmes.
He'll now transition from Superior Court, which he calls an error-correcting bench, to the more analytical Supreme Court, restoring a 5-2 majority for Democrats and insisting that shouldn't matter.
There's no Democratic or Republican way to decide a case.
But as the 7th justice, there will be no ties.
I told you, Dennis, I'm the youngest of an Irish Catholic family of 7. I know what it means to get to 4.
Vote no on Dan McCaffery.
The tone and cost of the race were noteworthy. An estimated $25 million spent, mostly on negative ads and mostly by third-party groups.
That's very dangerous because it leads to the public's perception that we are politicians, and we're not. They were distasteful at best. At worst, defamatory.
Somebody spent a lot of money against you, but I guess they didn't get their money's worth.
Oh, I'll send them a Christmas card.
Voters gave McCaffery his gift a few months early. And McCaffery will take his oath in January and will sit for his first cases in March.